The following video and audio clips are not owned by World Online Racing Championship. These clips and audio clips are used under the YouTube Fair Use Agreement. Thank you.
I think I'm going insane.
Welcome everybody to the World Online Racing Championship Maconi Setup Shop Dirt Late Model Tour. Season opener here at Volusia, $10 to win. Unfortunately, a little bit lower car count than we've had for our Sports Car Championship and our Truck Series, but we've got a promise to these guys. We will have 20 cars minimum on tap for next week, but for now we've got some very dedicated drivers to start the season off, and we know these guys are dedicated because, well, they're the ones who are here. I currently cannot view qualifying still, so for now we'll pull up that good little side ticker here. We'll see if anybody qualifies. We're about a minute into qualifying. We got about 3 minutes left, looks like. So as you see here, not the largest field unfortunately, but you know, these guys, hopefully they'll be putting on a good show here. We've got some heavyweights. We got Chris Brown back in the field, of course. He's the man to beat. Chris Brown is your defending dirt champ in a technicality. Of course, this is the first season we've ran the super late models on dirt. However, Chris is coming off of a excuse me. He's coming off of a WORC Dirt Modified Tour Championship that was presented by Mr. Ocean CM3882. Go check him out on YouTube. He's still one of our associate sponsors here. But today's race, the entire season, sponsored by Maconi Setup Shop, as Cole Day takes the pole. John Canizaro P2 here early on to start off qualifying. And as I have mentioned, unfortunately, I cannot view qualifying as a spectator. I've got an iRacing spectating issue at the moment, and that won't be cleared up for a couple months. So, unfortunately, looks like maybe I just got to start the streams a little bit later. So these guys, they've got 50 laps on tap for tonight. We're probably going to have one heat race, mainly a little bit of a warm-up session for these guys. Next week, though, as I said, I'm promising at least 20 late models showing up next week. And that is because, well, we head to USA for one, that's a free track on the iRacing service, and for two, we may be putting down a bounty on Chris Brown in the one car. Right now, Bo Krebs is on pole, but I expect Chris to run his second lap and knock him off the totem pole real quick right here. As you see, Chris only .016 off. And fun fact, actually, about Bo Krebs right there, the guy who's currently P1. Bo hurt his ankle before today's race. Here he is. So, I mean, shout out to Bo. He's racing with an ankle injury, and whether it's real life or on the sim, you know, you kind of need both your feet here in a dirt late model. And uh, man, I ran the 24 hours of Daytona with I want to say a sprained toe. It's more of a self-diagnosis, but um, Bo racing with a hurt ankle, I mean, that's got to be bothering him. So I'm gonna take an assumption and actually assume that Bo Krebs may be on pole here for this one. As we let the last minute of qualifying wind down real quick here. This Thursday night, the JP Designs Truck Series heads to Atlanta. We had a great race there at Daytona last Thursday night. Paul Granata took that one in a last corner pass, of course, in true Daytona fashion. And Sunday we will be taking off for the Keystone Corner Sports Car Championship. They get an off week next week as with the Super Bowl being on. Figure we want to let these guys get a chance to watch Super Bowl being a more American-based league. Of course, I know people all over the world like to watch the Super Bowl as well, so give some of our guys a good opportunity there. But looks like Bo Krebs might be on the pole here. Doesn't look like Klappert, Kennedy, or Workman are going to put down any laps here. And we should be set up for 2 heats, I believe. It'll be 1 or 2 heats here in this one. So as time winds down, looks like Bo Krebs has solidified himself on pole position for today. There are no cautions in the heat races here. Um, so we'll see what happens here. As they grid here, we will pull up the starting grid for today's race. Starting on the pole for today is going to be Bo Krebs. Two is outside. Looks like it'll be Chris Brown. Then we got Cole Day. And then we got Ryan Martin, John Cannizzaro, Sean Giroux. And then we got your not qualifiers here. We got myself, Blake Kennedy, Henry Klappert, and Ethan Workman. So right here we'll get a good look here at Bo Krebs. So Bo Krebs, as I mentioned on the poll for today, his first ever poll, and well, as mentioned, racing with an injured ankle. He, I can't even imagine the pain he must be in right now. Anyways, I'm not sure. I'm having an OBS issue. OBS has seemingly disappeared from my stream here, so this is going to be an interesting start to this race. My apologies if there's an issue with audio or anything like that. OBS is not opening, and looks like the stream's still going, however, so looks like not everyone is looking to grid here today. So there's Mr. Krebs. And give me just a moment here. Looks like we don't have any audio here from iRacing. Not sure what happened here. You're just gonna have to give me a moment here. I'll try to see here what's going on. Not too sure what's going on. Alright, well, we'll try to get this set up here. Best we can. For now, though, however, we've got Bo Krebs on the pole. Chris Brown was outside. And we'll see how heat race number one goes. Good time for these guys to shake it off. As Chris Brown in that one, the number one car, 136 technically. He'll get set to take us to the green here.
Green flag, green flag.
And here we go. Green flag is out for heat race number one here. And the Maconi setup shop Dirt Late Model Tour. Bo Krebs off to an early lead. And Krebs is gone here as Cole Day has taken P number 2 here from Chris Brown. Cole Day, a newcomer. John Cannizzaro in that JSR machine looking to the inside. And look at Henry Klappert right there in P4. P5, excuse me, trying to move up the field. Klappert to the inside. Klappert making moves. He started towards the back. He did not qualify. And Klappert will now send it deep into 3 and 4 here. We'll see if he can get to Cannizzaro. And he will. Klappert with a slide job will clear Cannizzaro going into 1 and 2. And meanwhile, Cole Day has taken over the lead here. Bo Krebs P2, Chris Brown P3. And don't look now, but Henry Klappert, they're 4 wide. Klappert's going to get bonked a little bit here. Tail slap by Cannizzaro, and he's going to lift. But Henry Klappert making some moves early on here in this heat race. Cannizzaro now to the inside of Brown, as it looks like they're trying to get the outside worked in a little bit here. The outside not really doing much wonders, though, for these guys, as Krebs looked like he lost it a little bit off the top side. And Brown and Cannizzaro now dueling it out side by side with Blake Kennedy looking behind him. And Ryan Martin way back here, not too sure what happened to him. And there's Sean Giroux, he's just trying to get around the racetrack here. There's Kennedy, he's falling back. Meanwhile, Klappert trying to get to the inside of Cannizzaro. Cannizzaro's got some right side damage from going door to door with Chris Brown, and we'll see if Henry Klappert is able to get up another position here. This will help his starting position in the feature. And Klappert around the outside looks like he's going to power around Cannizzaro as they get around the lap car of Sean Giroux. Klappert sent it a little too high in the corner. And Chris Brown now going high. Here comes Klappert looking for a third place finish here in this heat race potentially. White flag. Cannizzaro has not gone away yet. And Klappert runs it wide. But that doesn't matter as Cold Day will take the heat win. Bo Krebs spins out. Krebs spins out. Chris Brown P2. Henry Klappert P3. No, Cannizzaro P3. That was an interesting set of events there. A quick little warm up for these guys, really. And wow. So a little bit of door-to-door action here as I'm going to try to fix the audio real quick here in this one. Sometimes you got to do a couple different things for the audio. As it looks like Sean Giroux has said no more of this. And there we go, we got audio now for these guys, that's good. Man, what a run. Right there by Henry Klappert to even just get up that far in the first place. So while these guys are running a quick little warm-up session here, give me just a moment here. You guys are gonna see a little screen here on a second. Sorry about the issues here at the broadcast. OBS crashed and kind of OBS crashed, yet we still got our stream up, so I'm a little confused about that, but that's how technology works these days, I guess. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the weather here real quick while these guys do a quick little warm up around the racetrack. Looks like we got 77 degree temperatures here with a track temp of 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind speed of 7 miles an hour. Clear skies. It's about 8 p.m. here in Volusia and no humidity in the air. So there's John Cannizzaro as we saw. And we'll see here, there's Chris Brown on track getting some laps in here. Bo Krebs, we saw him spin there at the end of the heat. Not too sure what happened there with him, but looks like Chris Brown fastest in warm-up here. So we'll see if Brown's set up for the feature. 50 laps around, so really it's going to be about more consistency than anything else. See Cannizzaro and Day getting some laps. There's Blake Kennedy getting some laps in. Kennedy was P2 in the Dirt Modified Tour standings. So we'll see how it works out for these guys here tonight. As there's Chris Brown, the man who's dominated anything dirt so far in WORC. Put all 136 car. Alright, so for our starting feature here, let's get some race info real quick. It'll be 50 laps, 21 miles around Volusia. I'm not sure what the average lap time is. ATVO doing some weird things here today. Track info, here we are at Volusia Speedway Park, dirt oval located in Barberville, Florida. Altitude of 36 feet, and the track length is about half a mile. Here we are, we're going to get your starting lineup here for today. Cole Day took the heat race win today. We got Chris Brown who was outside, then we got John Cannizzaro, Henry Klappert, Blake Kennedy, Bo Krebs, Ryan Martin, and then Sean Giroux left the session, and then Ethan Workman, I believe, will be racing. He needs to start the race at least to get points. So, we'll see how it is here, but as I've said, this is the man to watch out for, this pink and black 136, Chris Brown. Keep an eye out for him. He is the man when it comes to the World Online Racing Championship. If you're just joining us here for the feature, my name is Braison Collins, and you're here watching the Maconi Setup Shop Dirt Late Model Tour, presented, well, by Maconi Setup Shop. I'm used to putting the presented after our Dirt League names here. So Cole Day on the pole for tonight's event. Took the heat race win. Henry Klappert drove through about half the field, just got caught up in Bo Krebs' spin coming off the final corner. It looks like Ethan Workman and Sean Giroux will not make the show. Workman needs to get on track to get points here, so we'll see if he does that. He is still here in the session. Here they are, pace truck lights are off. And one more time around, a salute to the fans here for these guys. May not be the biggest field, but I'd sure consider them the most dedicated field. 2 by 2, down through 1 and 2, down the back straightaway we take a look. The stars of WORC, the dirt guys, our dirt late model drivers, ready to sling some dirt tonight, throw some sliders, pull off some crossovers. Let's hope these guys have a good time here tonight. Coming out of 3 and 4, it's on Cole Day for the start. Green flag is off. And Cole Day takes the green flag here into turn 1. 2 by 2 they go. And Kennedy spins behind them. Looks like he's got it safe. Meanwhile, back up front, Cole Day will take the lead here over Chris Brown. Henry Klappert trying to make a move on the outside here. As, look at this, Bo Krebs throwing it in there, and we've got a crazy battle here for second. Klappert up to P3, but he's got Cannizzaro on his inside, and Krebs making some moves here. Klappert getting a little bit of a better exit off. Looks like they'll single file it out. We'll see if Cannizzaro goes right back to Krebs. As early on here, these guys putting on a show for us. And Chris Brown losing a little bit of ground here. Krebs now throwing it in deep on Brown and Klappert. Klappert around the outside. 3 wide for a moment there. Klappert's getting the run on the outside, and Henry Klappert. Is he an early contender? Can he catch Cole Day here? He's side by side with Chris Brown. Through 3 and 4, Klappert, he pivots his car a little bit more. He's going to get a better exit, I think, here. And Henry Klappert battling for P2. Klappert is a Florida native. He runs this one a little too high, but he's having himself a show. Drove through most of the field in that heat race, and man, I guess he just, I don't know why he didn't qualify. He could have been up there. Well, back here for P4, looks like Krebs is laid off of Cannizzaro a little bit as Klappert is still trying to go after Chris Brown for P2 here. And Chris Brown, he takes a little bit of a different approach. Looks like guys like Cannizzaro, Klappert, they pivot their car a little more. It looks like the outside line is worn off as Cannizzaro to the inside of Klappert. Klappert runs it way high. And Cannizzaro should clear him here. We'll see. Cannizzaro backs it off. And he's not going to get the run off the corner. It looks like Klappert's going to clear him back for P3 here. But Klappert keeps running it way too high into the corner. And Krebs is also doing the same thing as Klappert, basically wall riding this thing. We got a 3-car battle here for a podium spot. Klappert keeping it way up high. Somehow it's still working for him, but he's going to get to the inside here. As Krebs now trying to get by Cannizzaro, and oh, Klappert's in the wall. Klappert's going to lose some time because of that one. As Cannizzaro sticks it to the inside, we'll see Cannizzaro slide job hit. Klappert crosses him over though, and Klappert retains P3 here. Already a fifth of the way through this race here, and these guys are putting on a show for us. As Klappert and Cannizzaro really going at it here for P3. I know we keep checking in on this battle here for P3, but we got to take a look here at your leader, Cole Day. He is off and running. Day has pulled away, and that early battling between Klappert and Brown may have helped him as they're still going at it for P3 here. Cannizzaro on the inside, Klappert on the top. And Klappert, he runs it really wide, loses so much on entry of the corner, but he gets such a run off that you've almost got to wonder, how is this helping Klappert? As Krebs makes it 3 wide, and they're 3 wide off exit of the corner. Krebs almost hits Cannizzaro. And Klappert wheels it off the top side here. And Cannizzaro, he can get it down there, man. He just can't get by Klappert. And now with Krebs running the top, you've got to wonder, is this going to help or hurt Cannizzaro here? As Klappert finally runs a little bit lower into the corner. And this might help Klappert a lot. Krebs runs it about a lane higher. Klappert to the inside of Cannizzaro. Cannizzaro will clear him off the top. And Klappert sends it back in for a slide job. No, he won't clear Cannizzaro. They're 3 wide off exit. Krebs to the inside of Klappert and Cannizzaro. He throws a deep slider. Cannizzaro and Klappert will cross him over off exit. And now Cannizzaro pulls away from Klappert and Krebs as Klappert and Krebs go at it. Looks like Cannizzaro will pull away from Klappert here. As Krebs now will get a chance to go one-on-one with Klappert here. As they're both running the top, Klappert pushes it a little too wide. And into turn 1 they go. Krebs clears Klappert with a slider, maybe no contact. And unfortunately, that will hinder Henry Klappert as he's going to actually try to throw it back in on the inside of Krebs, but Klappert's early momentum appears to be lost here. As there's Chris Brown, he's ripping the bottom of this one. As he's trying to catch Cole Day, and Day running the, sort of the top side, more the middle here in the corners, and we'll see if Chris Brown's strategy is going to be able to catch up to Cole Day or not. As Day running a really solid line here. There's Brown, so he enters it lower, and Brown actually gained 2/10 that lap. We'll see here what he gains this lap. He gained another 10th there, so Chris Brown slowly reeling in your leader, Cole Day. There's Cannizzaro, and Klappert got right back by both Krebs. Not sure what happened there. There's Kennedy. Kennedy having a little bit of a struggle to start this race off. Looks like he just can't find the line. There's Ryan Martin. He's also struggling here. Off to an interesting start. Meanwhile, back again to the leaders. Here's Cole Day. And you can see Chris Brown now in the same camera shot. As there's Chris Brown and the yellow's out. Not sure who it's for. Oh, that's what it's for. Blake Kennedy self-spins on the back straightaway here. And one more time we'll get a... We'll get a good look at it here as... Oh, hang on just a moment here. So there's Kennedy going through 1 and 2, or 3 and 4, excuse me. And I'm trying to see here what happened here in 1 and 2. Looks like he threw it in. Looks like he was running fine, just pushed it off a little too tight off exit. Looks like I went a lot behind. Trying to find the incident with Kennedy here. So I believe it's this corner then. Looks like Kennedy No, I'm not sure. This replay lost it, but anyways, we'll go back live and these guys are done pacing. Pace truck will pull off here and Cold Day gets the signal to bring him back green flag. Let's get some mid-race info real quick. 28 laps to go. We've only had one caution. That was it. And caution laps don't count here, so one to go this time by. And click the wrong one here. So we're going to take a look here at Cold Day. He's been absolutely phenomenal here in this one so far. And Henry Klappert and John Cannizzaro, they have really been battling it out here in this one. I'll be excited to see what happens here as Cold Day gets the signal to bring us back green flag here. Double foul restarts. We didn't do these in the Dirt Mod Tour. We decided to do them here for the late models. We'll see how these go.
Green, green, green.
As Chris Brown does not quite get the restart he wanted. As Cold Day pulls up P2 and oh, contact Klappert and Cannizzaro.
Caution,
And
yellow
Cannizzaro
flag.
will spin it around. And we'll go ahead and get a replay of that. As you see here, going into turn 1, Cannizzaro backed up to Chris Brown. Klappert got Cannizzaro, and Cannizzaro just couldn't hold on to it. So we'll re-rack him up and try this one again. And we'll see here if the admins assess Klappert a penalty or Cannizzaro a penalty for that one. Looked almost like a racing deal, just the way they stacked it up, and looks like Henry Klappert will get to keep P3 here, as there's the pace track, lights are on, so we do have a little bit of time for race admins to decide what's going on there with Klappert and Cannizzaro. We'll get to check and see what the plan is for that. Cold Day and Chris Brown, man. Brown was reeling him in on that long run, and then we had that Kennedy self-spin. And now I'm interested to see what happens here. So let's see here. Pace truck lights are off. We are going green this time. Looks like Klappert will keep his spot, so the caution will be charged to John Cannizzaro, who now goes to the tail end of the field. Luckily for him, it's a short field tonight. Small but dedicated field, I keep saying it. And we'll see what happens here as we get ready to go green. And they're single filed out here, so if you don't know, we had a caution on the first lap after going green, so I put this back single file. And Cold Day gets the opportunity to send a green flag back
Green,
here,
green,
and he
green.
does. And Bo Krebs to the inside of Henry Klappert. Not sure what that was on the restart. Looks like Klappert clears him back, so there won't be a penalty for Krebs, but I'm interested to see here Cannizzaro driving through the field. He already got by Kennedy. We'll see if Cannizzaro sends it in on Ryan Martin here. And Cannizzaro reeling the bottom right here. He will get side by side with Martin as Martin's in the wall. Looks like Martin will be fine, but Cannizzaro already picked off 2 cars and he's already almost right back to where he was. Don't look now, but Chris Brown right back on Cold Day's rear end. As I mentioned, we saw Brown reeling Cold Day in. Now here's Brown. He's been working the inside most of the time. They're side by side off the corner here. Halfway through this one, Brown to the inside, Day to the outside. Day's going to get a little bit of a run off the top. And still side by side off the corner exit. Cold Day having to fight really hard here on the top. And Chris Brown at Lernerville was able to take the bottom and use it to his advantage in that one. Chris just so smart and technical when it comes to dirt racing here. He knows his way around on a long run as he takes the lead. Cold Day right back to his inside. Looks like Day may have gotten the wall a little bit. And Day's going to lose a little bit of ground. Meanwhile, back to P3. Here's Henry Klappert. And don't look now. John Cannizzaro is right there with Bo Krebs and Klappert, as these three have been going at it all night, really. And they'll continue to go at it here. As Blake Kennedy and Ryan Martin also in a little bit of a battle here. Kennedy losing some ground to Martin. We'll see if he can make that back up. As Cole Day, him and Chris Brown on the bottom. Klappert keeps running the top side. Cannizzaro's on the bottom. And it looks like it's working out for Cannizzaro. Klappert's going to need to try to move to the bottom here if he wants to keep that P3. As Klappert, I don't know. I'm interested to see here what Klappert thinks he can do on the top. Cannizzaro has gained a lot of ground running the bottom, and the leaders are in front of Klappert. He can see them running the inside wall. So, not sure what's going on there, but Bo Krebs getting a little bit of a run on Cannizzaro here as the battle for P3 heats up. As Cannizzaro on the inside of the racetrack. He's going to be to the inside of Klappert here. Klappert running the top side here. Cannizzaro looks like he lost it a little bit on the inside. Klappert's going to get the run, but it won't last for long. As Klappert enters the corner so high, and the way this track has changed, you gotta think he'd run at least a little bit lower, more towards the middle, but Klappert just keeps sitting it in. There we go, Klappert putting it in a little bit lower, and he's actually gonna get a way better exit here than Cannizzaro. As they're side by side, dueling it out. Klappert trying to pinch down Cannizzaro here for P3. And Krebs not really taking advantage of watching Cannizzaro running the bottom. As Klappert gets another run off, but this one might not last long as Klappert just doesn't throw it into the corner hard enough to try to pinch down Cannizzaro. And Cannizzaro will clear Klappert here as Klappert's going to get the wall. And this will make you wonder here, is Klappert or Krebs going to move to the inside? Klappert's still trying to run the middle here. And looks like Cannizzaro maybe will clear Klappert. Klappert kind of getting a little bit of a run, but ultimately in the end, it's Klappert's call. Meanwhile, back here towards the front, Chris Brown. No surprise if you've watched any WORC dirt races that this man is the guy who's leading the field here. As he leads Cole Day here into turn 1. And Day just can't quite get the inside the way that he wants to. There's John Cannizzaro, there's Henry Klappert. And now Bo Krebs has taken notice of Cannizzaro. He's running the inside, and Henry Klappert must be, I don't know if Henry Klappert's just not seeing what these other guys are doing, or if he's set in his way or what, but Klappert needs to know to get to the bottom, and there he goes, a little bit down to the bottom. He pushes it wide off exit. Now we're going to have a battle for P4 here, looks like, between Krebs and Klappert. As Klappert just doesn't turn corner at all. And he's struggling here late in this race. As he's losing out on a podium and a little bit more maybe as Krebs gets to the inside. And we've seen the inside prevail. Side by side off exit. And Klappert, he turns it a little too much. Does he get the run off the top? Krebs clears him. And looks like Krebs may get the run off the corner. Yep, Krebs gets a better corner. Klappert pushes it off too hard. And meanwhile back here, Ryan Martin at a Blake Kennedy. As Kennedy struggling, you see the rear end just absolutely beat in on that 75. He's going to need to put some laps down at USA, I think, in preparation for next Tuesday. As you hear, you listen to the throttle of that 136 machine of Chris Brown. He's easy on it. He doesn't push it too hard. He hammers down for the straightaway, but he's technical about it. And even the 91 of Cole Day, or 99, excuse me, he's doing a great job himself. But he's not doing it as good as Chris Brown is. There's Cannizzaro and Krebs. We'll see what happens here. Krebs running the inside as Cannizzaro went back to the top. And we'll see if Krebs can catch on maybe here late in this one for a little bit of a shootout here as Krebs runs the top in 3 and 4. And back here, looked like Henry Klappert was gaining on Krebs for a moment. Krebs runs the bottom in 1 and 2, the outside in 3 and 4. I'm not sure what the reasoning is behind that. As we see Krebs go back to the inside. And we'll see if he can mount something here. Remember, I talked about it pre-race. Krebs has an ankle injury right now, so he's fighting a little bit of pain there in that one as he's trying to trail brake his 168 late model into the corner, and that thing is coated in dirt. Car Wash is gonna have a field day with that one. Meanwhile, down the back straightaway with 2 to go here, Chris Brown. I'm not sure if he's backing off pace, but Cold Day's gaining a couple tenths at a time. It won't be enough, I don't think. White flag this time by as Chris Brown. He didn't dominate this one necessarily. He took the lead after a couple cautions, but he was reeling in Cold Day on their long green flag run and coming out of 3 and 4. Chris Brown is going to win it here. At Volusia to open the season. Cold Day P2, John Canzaro P3, Krebs P4, Klappert P5. And there's Ryan Martin. We'll see if he comes around, takes P6. He does. And there's P7, Blake Kennedy. Rough race for Kennedy and Martin, but there they are. Give some congratulations as here's our winner, Chris Brown. As he'll try to celebrate some sort. Can't really burn out much in these things here. But there's your winner, Chris Brown, and unfortunately we will have no commercial break as I mentioned OBS kind of crashed. So there's Chris Brown, you're a winner though. And man, good drive by him as we will go ahead and see if we can bring him in here to the WORC broadcast booth here. We'll see if we can get these guys in here for an interview. Chris, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud?
Sir, I got you.
Well, other than my little bit of issue with OBS crashing here, was very fun to watch you here in this one. And man, you didn't dominate this one from start to finish, but you did end up reeling in Cold Day until that yellow. Do you think that caution flag middle of the race was the turning point for you?
I think it was just a matter of the bottom coming in. The top was pretty fast during the race, during the beginning part of the race. Cole is fast anyways. I've raced with Cole for probably 4 or 5 years now, so it's awesome to have him in the league. He's a good racer. But yeah, it was just a matter of the bottom coming in, and he was just kind of missing it a little more than I was, so I was able to get around him and able to pull away, and then at the end of the race there he was starting to reel me back in, so I'm glad it ended when it did.
Yeah, I noticed that he started to figure out the bottom a little bit more. When did you find out that the bottom was more the preferred line? Because before that caution came out, Cole was still running the top while you were kind of bottom feeding a little bit and you were gaining on him.
Yeah, I mean, you've done this for long enough. I just kind of figured it was going to come in eventually, so I ran the top for a little bit just to kind of keep up with Cole, and then that caution came out, and I tried the bottom again, and I was able to keep up with him. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep running this, and I was able to get by him eventually, and get to the finish line first.
Well, Chris, once again you open another work dirt season with a win, as last year you opened up here at Volusia in the UMP Modified Tour with a win there, and we know what happened at the end of that season. So you feeling confident about what could come from this season?
Yeah, this is definitely a good start, best start you can get. So hopefully we can get another championship and solidify my name in this league. And yeah,
All right, Chris. Well, before I let you go, you got anybody you want to thank tonight?
thank you guys for putting on this league. Thanks for putting on the broadcast. Everybody for putting on a clean race, and my wife for letting me race.
All right, Chris. Well, thank you for being here, man. Congratulations on P1. We'll see you next Tuesday night.
And
All right, guys. That was P1, Chris Brown, and unfortunately, it does not look like we have P2 here in the booth. That's Cold Day. So we're gonna skip here to P3, which is the 17 of John Canizaro. We'll see here. We get a little. There we go. There's John right there. We'll see if we can pull John in for a quick little interview. John, you're in the WORC TV booth. You got a copy, bud.
I can get you loud and clear.
Man, a late race
Man,
spin. But you managed to come back from it. Really drove through the field. You passed two cars before we even completed lap one. I guess run me through what happened there with that little spin and contact with Klappert. It looked like.
yeah, we're racing hard. It's dirt racing. You can expect a little rubbing and banging. It's just how it goes. But I checked it up to the guy in front and the bottom. He didn't. Got into me. Sent me to the back. It's not my idea of racing. Gave me a little bump on the caution. Just went on my merry way.
Yeah, for sure, man. But that drive back to the front, I asked Chris a similar question. Of course, his was for the win, but what made you find out that the bottom was the preferred lane? Because I noticed Henry Clapper, he could not seem to figure out that the bottom was where you guys were running tonight.
It's a little bit of knowledge. You know that the top's there. You see the cushion. But if you get it right on the bottom, if you can get it under that slick, you can still find that grip. And once you see it, you sort of get that rhythm into it and you just start going. I think it's all about knowledge.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, I mean, congratulations. You drove right back up through the field to P3, and you had a little bit of a fight with Krebs and Clappert, but you managed to fend them off and pull away for a podium finish here. Before I let you go, you got anybody you want to thank tonight?
Yeah, Krebs, me and him were in a voice call. They started messing around. Father, he's I think he's watching somewhere, and a bunch of friends that I'm not naming because they were mean to me.
Well, John, all right, man. Well, congratulations on your podium finish here. Solid start to the season, and hopefully we see you next Tuesday night. You did a great job tonight, John.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was John Canizaro, P3. And unfortunately, as I said, P2 is not here for an interview, so we're gonna go ahead and end this stream. Unfortunately, due to OBS issues, I can't provide the normal broadcasting that I normally tend to do, which sucks, but it's whatever. Here we are from Volusia Speedway Park, a very good race, good battling throughout the field in the Maconi setup shop, dirt late model tour to start the season. Next week, I promise you guys 20 late models on track at USA, believe it or not, Tuesday night. However, don't miss out as this Thursday night, just here in a couple days, same time, the JP Designs Truck Series heads to Atlanta Motor Speedway for their second race of the season as Paul Granata looks to defend his win to start the season at Daytona. And of course, Sunday we take off for the Sports Car Championship. As I hope everybody enjoys the Super Bowl. I myself will be going for Tom Brady and the Bucks. However, I mean, Mahomes, he's a good quarterback, so we'll see what happens there. And then, as I mentioned, next Tuesday night, USA. Don't miss it. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. This is WORC TV signing out.